All right, while I'm in the mode for putting stuff on here, back to back to back. Let me show you. You see all of this mail. This is for the people that need the motivation. This is for the people that need to be pushed away from the being on the procrastinate mode. You got the paper shredder, and this is one that is good for being able to shred 2 pieces of paper at one time. It's supposed to be, let me see. It's supposed to be a 6-sheet cross cut, but I wouldn't dare do it unless it was maybe once or twice. I do shred cards in here, I'll say. So, and the thing about it, the motivation that I'm pushing for is for anybody that needs to be motivated to say it's time to grab a hold of that mail that you've been putting to the side. I had a whole bag of it. And let me show you the bag that it was in. And that can hold a pretty decent amount. And this is maybe the 3rd go around recently. And when I say recent, I say in the last few months that I've hit the mail. And just every now and then I might say, you know what? I'm sitting still for a few seconds. I got a couple of pieces of mail. Go ahead and shred them. Go ahead and go through it. Now, let me show you this. These stacks of mail, I'll put these in specific stacks that are from the same places. One of them is my utility bill, and the rest of them is they are accounts. And let me show you this real quick. I came across this little knife the other day that I hadn't seen in a while, and I never really used it. Hold on one second. Yeah, I came across this little knife, and what I decided to do, instead of using a mail opener that I grew up being around mail openers, the envelope openers. They were in, I look at them as being too dull. So I went on and used this little knife, and it's kind of dull, but it did the job. And what I did was I went through and opened all of the pieces of mail, because I have to go through every single piece of mail, because for what you want to get rid of and shred is really dealing with your personal information for sure. I don't necessarily shred. That's what this pile is for. This is the tear up pile. I don't have to worry about any personal information being in that pile of paper. Not at all. But I don't want to waste putting my shredded paper, putting the paper through the shredder, because it's all going to go in the same place. The purpose of the shredder is to shred up my personal information. And like I said, it won't take up that much space, so I won't have to change out this paper as much. So that's why I do that way. And I just shred that up with my hand, just tear it in a few pieces and go about my business. And pretty much I've been doing pretty good on this, and it's getting done. And a lot of this mail, some of this mail is new mail. That's how much I was saying, okay, it's time to get at this. It's time to stop procrastinating. Just do it. And basically what I'm doing also, and let me put this out here. I was talking to one of my children in the last couple of days, and they were talking about this. And I said, yeah, Granny said, save your important bills, like your utility bills, your phone bills, anything in that kind of category that you rotate on a regular basis. You keep all of that mail up until a year. And the reason why my child was bringing it up is because they said, well, you never know when something might happen and you have to compare your records for any reason, whether it's a dispute on something that you feel like it's not correct, or whether it's like he said, well, this month my bill was this amount, and last month my bill was that amount, or maybe a couple of months around, away from there. So like I said, what I'm doing right now is anything that's a year old, I'm getting rid of it as far as my bills, like my utility. Now, when it comes to my account, if I feel like they're useless and you've already updated your information, that's how I'm going to get I'm going to get rid of a lot of this pile right here. This pile right here, I'm going to get rid of because I'm going to say, okay, the amounts in those accounts are different now. So no use to hold on to it. Hold on to a couple of the more recent bills, well, billing cycles, so you can keep up with it. Now, if one or two of them might be a certain amount in there, I might keep that one, even though it might be older. But other than that, most of this is going to get gone. Most of that is going to get gone. So anyway, all right, get to it, get the mail done, get it down. And then I'm going to get into a rotation of, once I get down to a small amount of mail, when the incoming mail comes in, I'm going to get into a routine of kicking it out the door real quick and getting it on out the way. And that's what I'm working on, because some of this stuff is a lot older. But like I said, this is probably like the third cycle. I have other places that I might have to look and see where I have some mail stashed at that it's been time for me to get rid of it, or even just regular paper, that might have been important at one time or another, but now it's not. So that's what you have to look at. If it's not important now, get rid of it. But if it's something that later on down the line that you might have to reference back to, do not get rid of it. And I'm talking about, I don't care how old it might be, or how old it might get to being down the line. Because a lot of times you'll be surprised. I just now came across a situation where some of this stuff that's shredded right now, I wish I still had it, hadn't shredded it, and I had the second thought of me shredding it, and I called an important company and found out some information was put on one of my credit bureaus, and I wish I had it, but it's not going to be that difficult, because I'm going to dispute it. But anyway, that's the reason why you keep things like that, because you never know, it might come out the blue when you think that situation is all over and well done with. You won't even have to think about it. And just like I said, it hadn't even been a week that I shredded that piece of information, and then I found out that they were the ones that put that on my credit report. So anyway, you live and learn. All right.